Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making an overbust corset. This is what I was able to achieve for the pattern drafting I made. If this is what you're looking for, let's get right into it. I usually like to start by straightening my edge. Like I always say, most of the pattern papers are not straight. Then you measure the length of your pattern paper if it's enough for what you are looking for. So from our starting line, we are going to mark our armhole, our bust point, our underbust, our waist measurement. Connect these points in a horizontal line. Then always make sure you label. So we have our armhole or chest, we have our bust point, we have our underbust, our waist, and then the top length. So I mark my shoulder to shoulder divided by 2 and then mark the same on the chest line. Connect the points like so. So again on the chest line, you mark your bust divided by 4 minus ½ inch because it's a tube top. Then on your waist, you mark your waist divided by 4. Then on your hip line, your hip divided by 4. For the neckline, I did 3 by 3, that is 3 width and then 3 in depth. I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So it's now time to draw the neckline. This is a very simple and easy detailed tutorial on pattern drafting for an overbust corset. This pattern can be used for all kinds of overbust corsets. Like I always do, make sure you connect your original lines in a dotted line for reference, just as you see me doing. Now we are going to measure our nipple to nipple divided by 2, and mine is 4 inches. Mark it like so. And then connect them together. So we will be using our shoulder darts method. So you measure what you have on your shoulder, divide it by 2 and mark the point like so. Come down by 0.5 inches and then up by 0.5 inches from the bust point line and then connect it as you see me doing. On the waistline, you go out by 1 inch on both sides. And then on the hip line, you come up by 2 inches. On the underbust, the same 1 inch on both sides. Connect these points together. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, share to your friends who are interested in sewing. This is a very beginner friendly kind of pattern drafting, and I know that if you apply the instructions like so, you will be able to achieve any overbust corset design of your choice. So on the shoulder, we are going to go out by ½ inches on both sides and connect it on the 0.5 inch above the bust point. I hope you understand. So now we have our waist dart, we have our shoulder darts. So we are going to place in our hip dart. On the hip line, you go out by ½ inches allowance on both sides, and then on the under bust line, you go out by 0.5 or 0.25 inches on both sides, which will make 0.5 overall. You need to do this, is very important. Like I always say, it gives a very good support to the bust area. So always go in by 0.25 on each side, then connect it like so. So you're going to connect the waistline to that of the hip dart. And then we are now going to input our bust dart. So the bust dart is the difference between your back waist and your front waist. So I came down by 1 inch for my bust dart. I'll show you something later on as the video progresses. So we are going to replace all the dart intake. On the waistline we replace 2 inches. On the hip line we replace 1 inch. Measure what you have on your shoulder and then replace it like so. Make sure you slant it so that it corresponds with the shoulder slope. Connect that point to the armhole or chest line and then draw your armhole curve. Now on the chest line we replace just ½ inch for the dart, then join these points together. Extend the bust dart. And then now we are going to add just ½ inches allowance for sewing. Okay, now I've extended all the horizontal measurement on the back pattern. I am going to show you something. You see the difference between our back waist and then the front waist is our bust area, right? So if you do not input your bust dart, you mostly find out that your corset has fold in the armpit area. So always make sure when you are drawing a corset pattern, you take in the bust dart. You watch it as it progresses. So I came up by just 1 inch, then connected it like so. Cut it out. Our front pattern is almost ready. You cut out the neckline as well, and then the shoulder slope. Trust me, this pattern can be used for any overbust corset. Please let me know if you tried it out and how it came out. Please tag me when you do so. So we are going to cut out our waist dart, our shoulder dart, and for the bust dart, you slash open the bust point line and then flip it over to the 1 inch drop, then secure it with a masking tape. Now we are going to take in 0.25 on each side and then cut it out like so for the bust tightening. So now you bring in your front panel and see if your bust area corresponds with that of the back. You see there is difference. The waist area corresponds, the under bust correspond, but now you have a new armhole. You see, it drops. That means the armhole to underbust measurement on the back is shorter than that of the front. I hope you understand. So now please focus on the red marker. That is what we are going to use to draft our back pattern. Ignore the black one for the back pattern. So you trace the bottom like so. Then we are going to redraw everything afresh. So you measure your armhole measurement. Please, the red marker is for the back pattern, so that place is not part. So now this is our new armhole. Then for the chest area, just as you did for the front, your bust divided by 4 minus 0.5 inches. If it's a two top, make sure you always reduce it by 0.5. It helps to snatch the back area. And then your waist measurement and that of your hip the same. You see the 1 inch we came up. Okay, so connect these points in a dotted line for reference. Then just like we did for the front, your nipple to nipple divided by 2. Then you come down on the underbust line. On the waist, 1 inch on both sides. Then you come up from the hip line 2 inches. Connect it like so. So like we always do, you do your hip tightening, 0.5 inches on each side. Then we are going to do our back neckline tightening, 0.5 on each side. Then connect it back into the waistline. If you don't do this for the back neckline, it's not going to lie flat on your back. So you need to do this. Very important. Back into our waistline from the hip line. So just as we did for the front, we are going to replace our dart intake. For the hip line, we replace 1 inch. For the waist, we replace 2 inches. And then for the new armhole, we replace 1 inch. Connect it like so. Then add ½ inch allowance. Our back pattern is also ready, but then we are going to have some changes in the back neckline. I came down by 1 inch and then slanted from the armhole to create the back neckline curve. You can decide to go straight or even go down maybe 2 inches depending on what you want. So the black area is where we are going to be cutting out. Go ahead and cut out your back pattern. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Help my channel grow. I have a lot of videos that I have packed up for you guys. Very simple, and then if you follow these instructions, trust me, you'll be able to sew anything. Always make sure you try to align your side seams all the time to see if they match. I realized there was shortage on the hip or the bottom of the blouse or the corset for the back side. So you see, if you don't do this, you are going to have shortage on your fashion fabric, which you don't want. So what you always do is to make sure you check these things before you cut them out on the fashion fabric. So I bring in this pattern paper, secure with a masking tape, and then reshape the back pattern. Now we have a balanced side seam, or side I would say. So now slash open the front pattern. I'm going to show you something. If you want to have, a lot of that in your front pattern for your corset, on the side you maintain the original measurement, but on the hip line you go out by just 2 inches. Maintain the same for the under bust and then that of the armhole. Please watch as I draw it out. So you see, that will be another dot line if you want a lot of slashes or dots in your corset. Then on the waistline, you come out by, depending on how much you want to snatch, maybe 0.25 or 0.5 inches. And then from the under bust, from the under bust, you coordinate it to that 0.5 inches you came out from the waistline and connect it like so. I hope you understand. Very easy, very simple. So we now have another that line, and if you want to have another in the middle, on your waistline, going in by 0.25 or 0.5 inches. On your under bust line, go in by the same, connect it like so. Then just watch what I'm doing. Simple and very easy. But I'm not going to be applying this method. I want to maintain this, just the 2-piece for the front. Always make sure you label your pattern. And then I did not slash open the front pattern because sometimes it can get missing together with the scraps you've taken out. So I always make sure I do not slash it until I'm ready. Also indicate where the top and then where you'll be joining. Some of these patterns are similar. Join me in my next video as we do the cutting and then the sewing. Bye.